Hello, so in this tutorial I'm going to try and take you through some basic color grading steps in DaVinci. I'm not a professional color grader. There are people who do that for a living. That's definitely not me. So if you're looking for some more professional advice, maybe go to another tutorial. But here at least I just want to give you some basic tools you can play around with, which can hopefully help you make your footage look a little bit better. So when you go out and film, you can film in different formats. One of those formats, color formats, will be logarithmic. That means that today's cameras can actually record more colors than you can see with your eyes, and it will encode that information in the digital file, and oftentimes those files will look very sort of washed out, gray. So like here, this footage, it has all this. You see how the colors are a little bit washed out, they don't really pop out. Let me see, I have another clip in here, the sample clip. Also here it's all a little grayish. Got one more here. Same thing here. So when your footage looks like this, or if you work with a videographer who said, oh, I filmed everything in logarithmic, you have to apply what is called a LUT, L-U-T. And depending on your camera and all that, you will have to choose a different LUT. But let's try it on this footage here. So this is peculiar. It was filmed on 8mm Super 8 analog, well, celluloid, and it got digitally scanned. And to make it like pop more a little bit, we will go into the color grading section of DaVinci, which is down here. So you have these different tabs, and color is over here. So when you grade, you work with nodes up here. And you always want to have each step of your grade in a separate node. And the first thing we will apply, if necessary, if your footage is in log, grayish like this, is a node for the LUT. So to add a node, you can either hit Shift S and we'll add a node before the selected node, or Option S, which will add a node after the selected node. So we'll do with this one, and we'll label it right away. We'll call it LUT, so we will remember what this node does. These other two, they don't do anything for now. And to apply a LUT, we can do a control click on this, and you see here LUT. And now there's a whole bunch of LUTs. So you see there are different brands of cameras, which you can select if you know what camera you've been using, and you should know that, or you have to look it up basically. In this case, for this scanned Super 8 footage, I will go with a LUT called Film Looks, because I was working on celluloid, and I will select Rec 709, which is a basic color space, and now I'm going to select the film stock I used, which was Kodak D60. So that was actually written on the box of the film I used. And see, I got a little icon here showing that I use a LUT. And here we see our footage with the basic LUT applied. So you see the difference is huge. And that's why it's so important to do this first, because this will be the starting point for your grade. If you start with the initial, let's say, logarithmic footage, it'll be really hard to get these colors out. So let's compare. You can see the scope down here. So if you want to see what you're looking at, like in a, let's say, color spectrogram, you have different options here. So I was in waveform. You can have it in parade, red, green, blue. The vector scope can come in handy. I'm just going to stay in the waveform for now. So I can select a node up here, and I can deactivate it with Command D. So that's how it looked before. and you can see the waveform down here. It's much more compressed. And now I activate it again, and you see now the colors take up much more space, and our footage looks much better. Let's see the same in the vector scope. This is with the LUT applied, and this is without the LUT. It all gets a little squashed. Or once more with, let's say, the histogram. Or the parade. You see how all these color values now get mapped out over the entire spectrum of light, so we can actually perceive them with our eyes. Now, this was for my Super 8 footage. Now let's go to this thing here. This is sample footage I found online on the website of ARRI, which is a professional camera maker. And since this is different footage, I want to apply a different LUT. So again, I add an extra node for the LUT, label it right away. It's just easier, whoops, just easier to work with. And let's see, I said ARRI, and here we have just one standard LUT. There we go. Without and with. So it's Command D to deactivate or activate a single node. If you want to activate or deactivate all the nodes, you can do Shift D. So this will deactivate or activate all the nodes. So if you have other nodes with other things, we will see that later. You can do it for everything. It's the same as clicking up here. Bypass, color grades, and fusion effects. So you want to be sure that this is on when you do your color correction, otherwise anything you do won't change a thing. So you can do global bypass or bypass for a single node. And one last footage just to show you an example. This is ARRI 2. So I go here. Whoops, gosh. There we go. Looks much better. So this is going to be the starting point. And by the way, I should have made a separate node. So I'm going to add another node after this, and we're going to call this LUT. Okay. So this is going to be the starting point for our grading experiments.